Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. So for your pleasure today, I'm playing the Su-7B. Before I go into details, if I sound a little bit tired, yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and the first few tries of recording this video just didn't work. My rendering program went off to gulag, it seems, so I have to do it over again. So this is actually the second take. Now, the Su-7B, this is the first jet of the second Soviet rank 6 line. It comes after the LA-200, and again it sits at battle rating 9.7, and this has to be pointed out because I expected this to face all the up tiers, but in fact I see nothing but down tiers. I saw only one up tier versus 10.0s, but that's about it. So this really benefits this plane a lot because you can also face 8.7s quite often, and speed wise they have no chance versus you. The acceleration and the top speed of this thing are absolutely crazy for its battle rating. Now there are, I guess, two balancing factors if you want to look at it from a game perspective. The first one is that it is quite bricky. It doesn't turn very well, and it also, and that's the reason number two, has no air-to-air missiles, and that is quite painful for this thing in combination. But on the other hand, your speed, you have to look at it from the perspective of an 8.7, especially a stock one. How does he ever manage to catch this thing? How has he ever any sort of chance of dealing with this thing if it is flown correctly? And I know this sounds crazy, but you can practically boom and zoom enemy jets with it, but you really have to watch your speed. You can actually get into ripping your wings at speed in level flight with the afterburner. So the thing is very fast, but you have not the greatest capabilities of getting gun on target, so you can't really go into a turn fight, you can't really maneuver with enemy jets and guarantee a safe outcome. Sometimes the rudder just locks up, or just simply the roll is very slow, and that's really bad. But yeah, what kind of gun systems are we talking about? We're talking about two wing-mounted 30mm NR30 cannons with 160 rounds between them, and they hit quite hard. So far so good. The air target's ammunition is all that it takes, but if you want to crack those pillboxes, the AP belt is also quite nice. Then actually let's talk about, well, the ordnance, and there is a huge variety of stuff to talk about. First of all, we have 64 S5K rockets with 150mm of penetration, so they are heat warheads. Then we also have 4 250kg bombs or 4 500kg bombs, and then up to 28 S3K rockets with 300mm of penetration. They're all separate loadouts. But what you kind of see in the footage already are the 4 S24 rockets. They are 235kg heavy rockets with a maximum speed of 410 meters per second, and the explosive mass is a whopping 25.5 kilograms, resulting in 80mm of penetration. That is, yeah, like a big cruiser shell, like from an 11-inch gun from the Admiral Graf Spee, and you have 4 of them. And what I try to do is to compensate for the lack of my air-to-air missiles. It didn't really work all that often, but I have 3 examples where it actually worked, and yeah, they are coming up just shortly. So the thing is, I have set them up in a specific way. I have set them up that they explode after 800 meters, and you can see that is practically the combination of the title. That is a flak whale. It is a whale in performance, but it has those flak rockets. And again, it's quite awesome if it works, but it doesn't really work all that often. You have to practice it a lot, and your guns are still your primary weapons of destruction. And that is also something stupid that happened. First of all, that I ripped my wing, but I was actually the last player alive, and I wanted to return to base but I was actually registered as being dead. And so, yeah, the points are now ticking down, and I will lose this battle. But we'll have a quick look at the post-battle results. And after the post-battle results, we will rewind the clock just a bit to see the first of the rocket kills. Which is kind of debatable, I understand, but it also just shows a nice thing. So here we have the post-battle results, and the plane is not too expensive to repair, and we got nearly 27,000 civilians for a loss on a non-premium plane. So we are going for the airfield, and this one was just one player that annoyed me quite a lot, and I think that was a direct hit. Oof. So there you can see just how the plane just goes away. Then this was the G91, and you can see how quickly we close the distance. And this is a little trick. I don't go directly for the head-on in a prolonged way, because then the gunfire would tear me apart before I can launch the rockets. And then at 1.5, yes, that was a critical hit, and he just flew into the flak barrage, if you will, and it did the job. So just seconds later, I actually get awarded the kill by him bailing out, which happens around about now. Yeah, there we go. And you can see what crazy climb rate this thing has. This thing shouldn't fight 8.7s or 9.0s, and here is then probably my best kill, the best one that I managed to do. I would try to hunt down this F-104, and then you can see all the other planes trying to go after this this squad Su-7B, and they're kind of in a turn fight. So I think to myself, well, what do my eyes see? And then I just spot the opportunity right at the end when it was about to be too late. Super Mister again flew into the flak barrage, and then I get the kill, which was beautiful. But on the other hand, then there are the guns. In jet fights, it's usually very important to get a good burst in and deal a lot of damage. And here we are now with this one. So I get a critical hit, and I couldn't really correct because this thing is such a whale. It is really sluggish. Trust me when I say it, this is definitely not a precision tool. This is just a raw sledgehammer. It's getting late, sorry. So this is a raw sledgehammer, and it's all about the speed. Some people will love it, some people will hate it, but undeniably I think that there will accumulate so many people that love it and that want to have some sort of fighting chance versus an F-104. But the F-104 has air-to-air missiles. While they are not the best, they still have them, and it's also in the long run faster and has maybe a better weapon system. And then you can see we have a lot of mixed battles on both sides, a lot of F-104s. And so while already this thing is not really that great to deal with, imagine again if you're a lower battle rating plane and you have to get up versus all those people that also then decide to put in a lot of gold needles to upgrade then their jets right away. Another burst, another critical hit, and again that was not fatal. So as I zoom away, I think to myself, that is kind of the worst of the worst. My team is beginning to crumble, and there is where the avalanche effect starts, because if I would have killed the F-104, I would have removed quite a very dangerous opponent. And then I also got a kill assist here on another plane. So that is just one of those things where then if I would have gotten those kills, my team would have not been under so much pressure. My team would have not just fallen that easy, and they would have concentrated on other targets. But that's just how it is. Anyway, this thing is really fast, but you always have to remember there's always a faster thing, and in this case is the F-104. And just look at what can I do? I can't turn with them, I can't really do anything against them, and to reverse them, it might work once, but it's not a viable option, and there is just one shell that needs to hit you, and you're about to die. So this thing is crazy fast. It is really cool to fly. It also has great looks. I love the S-24 rockets with the airburst option. When it worked, it was really cool. But this is not definitely something that I would highly recommend. On the other hand, in theory, in ground RP, it has the weapons loadout with those 4 rockets that you can also select to detonate on contact, the 4 500 kilogram bombs, but then there is all the radar SPA, and that is also not that nice to deal with. All around, a nice plane, but not really something outstanding when it comes to its overall effectiveness in battle. A kill here and there, maybe 3, that's the best that I could do, and I think, yeah, I could train more with it, I could get better battle footage with it, but this is more or less a more realistic first impressions on it. Now I'll also will have a look at the second starfighter for the Americans to see how they actually deal with their opposition, because from what I've seen, they are really good. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video and also the kind of collection of pictures at the end. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give the video a like with it, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, on the battlefields, and in the skies of War Thunder.